right, Art, thank you. Well, we are now just 2 days away from the deadline for online and mail-in voter registration in Wisconsin. With the 2024 election season heating up, it's crucial that every eligible voter is prepared. Joining us today is Jane Powell, president of the League of Women Voters of the La Crosse area, to tell us more. Good morning, Jane. Thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah,
such an important discussion to have as, we're getting close, aren't we? So just start by telling us, why is voting so important for our democracy?
Well, when the founders began this country, they started the constitutional work with a preamble that said, "We the people."
Right.
Their intention was that people would vote and decide who was going to govern them. And that carries forward right now to today. When we talk to voters, we ask them, what's important to you? What are your values? You need to vote for somebody who's going to represent what you believe in and what makes your life better. So voting is where democracy starts.
Yeah, it's your choice, right?
Right.
That's the bottom line. All right.
So what are the different ways we can vote?
Well, we can vote at this time. We're early enough that you can vote absentee by mail, and it's not too late to request that. We do, as a league, say probably after the 22nd of October, it's getting a little late to start doing that. So absentee by mail, but our in-person absentee voting also starts October 22nd, and then that lasts for 2 weeks right up until Friday, November 1st at 5 o'clock. So if you are in La Crosse, we have lots of different locations that you can vote anywhere in the city at the times that during those 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's coming fast, right?
Yeah, it sure is. Yeah, and so speaking of that, the deadline to register online and by mail is Wednesday.
Yes.
So can you walk us through that voter? This is both of our first time voting in Wisconsin. We're both registered, but what does that process look like for people who may not know?
Well, if you have a valid Wisconsin driver's license or state ID, you can still register online at the myvote.wi.gov website.
Okay.
And so that's the only document you need is your information from that document. After that, you will need to have identification and also proof of residence because you have to have 28-day residency.
Okay.
And so after that, you can register to vote at any of these early in-person voting sites starting October 22nd.
Okay.
Right up until Election Day. You can register to vote on Election Day in Wisconsin.
And in person you can do that, right?
Yes.
Okay, so important to know that. And then when we go to the polls, when we are registered, do we have to bring a special, registration card, or is it just our ID, or what do we need when we get there to the polling place?
Once you're registered, you do need a photo ID in order to get a ballot. And so, but if you're registered, you'll just go check in, they'll send you to the poll books, you'll state your name and address. They'll ask you to sign the poll book, and then they'll give you a voter ID number. Then you go get your ballot. You've shown your photo ID at that point. You get your ballot then. You vote, and you're on your way.
All right.
And we do encourage people to make a plan, because Election Day we expect to be very busy.
Yeah.
And so if you don't have, kind of a dedicated amount of time on the 5th to get to the polls, you might want to consider one of the early options.
Okay.
But the polls are open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Okay.
And at 8 p.m., if there's a line and you're in line, you can still vote until the line is gone.
Okay, so as long as you're in line there by 8 p.m.
As long as you're in line.
Okay, great to know.
How do we educate ourselves on the ballot?
For finding that, again, we really refer people to the Wisconsin, the My Vote Wisconsin website, because you can put your address in and it'll show what's on your ballot. Okay. In La Crosse, we are very fortunate. We have our city clerk, Nikki, puts the ballots online, so you can go to the city clerk's office or website, I mean, and find the ward and everything that's right on your ballot.
Okay.
And many clerks do that, but if anywhere in Wisconsin, if you go to the website,
you can find it all in there.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, great. And then we are out of time, but quickly, I know we wanted to touch on the League's position on the constitutional amendment referendum on voter eligibility. I know those referendums can get kind of tricky, so what can you tell us about that before we go?
That's a one-word change from every to only.
Okay.
We feel that it's an unnecessary barrier because we know that 1 in 10 people don't have birth documents.
Right.
And if this would pass, there may be additional requirements for documentation to prove citizenship. Right now, it's a guarantee under every citizen.
Okay.
And that is our state constitution. It's an important document, and it doesn't need to be changed. There's not a problem, and the League does not support this amendment.
Okay. All right, Jane. Well, thank you so much. This was very insightful. Thank you so much for being here.
Okay,
Stay with
you.
us. We're back right after this.